everyone. We are going to be discussing The Cabin in the Woods, made in 2011, with director Drew Goddard, and the cast is Chris Hemsworth, Franz Kranz. I already forgot the names. Thank you, off-screen.
Yes, very much.
Kristen Connolly, Anna Hutchinson's, I already said Franz Kranz, and Jesse Williams. We'll just go with that. Bradley Whitford's in it, and Amy Acker.
Oh, Brian Bright. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, and
Military
with me,
dude.
if you've noticed, I have a person with me. This is Beth. She's a good friend of mine from the Ren Fairs, because we're nerds that way. And we've decided? It's early, folks.
Yeah.
So we have decided to collab on a little review for The Cabin in the Woods, because it's a really fun movie. There will be spoilers, so if for some odd reason you've been living under a rock and haven't seen this movie or have heard about this...
Sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not sorry.
Turn this off and go watch that movie.
Yeah.
I think it's streaming places. I'm sure it is.
I think so too.
Probably.
Halloween stuff.
Yeah, all the Halloween stuff is coming. Also, I'm sorry if our, faces go in and out. I'm doing this on my phone. Because I'm smart. Anywho, movie. So, would you like to give the synopsis?
Fun times. Alright, life is good, and we're gonna go for a good trip in the woods. Yeah, buddy! And it turns out to be not so fun. Even though you do get to see a good smoke out in the front part, where the guy's bong is actually his cup of coffee.
They made that from
Washingtonians.
scratch. Actually, that contraption, that was made, and it's actually a usable bong. And it cost about $2,000 to make. Isn't that ridiculous? It elongates, and it's actually like a little coffee cup, and then yeah.
Yeah, it's
People
some good
are
stuff right
smart. So, anywho.
Oh, yeah. So, as all horror movies, you do have to have the dumb girl, the smart girl, the geek, because that's one of the things you gotta do. Because smart girl's not really that, because, the smart girl's still cute. You can't be, totally the nerd, though, but, Well,
they refer to the smart girl as the virgin. Yes.
Yeah.
So the main part of this is there's an underground society that is sacrificing people to appease the old gods.
Yeah.
And they have to do it in a certain order. So think slasher movies. You got the virgin. You got the jock. You have the fool.
Dumb.
You have the dumb blonde. All these archetypes are in this movie. The virgin isn't actually virginal, as they make a funny joke about that, But, no, this movie is amazing.
Yeah.
It's such a good little satire, almost, of horror movies.
You don't go into the basement. You don't touch shit under the basement.
Don't read the Latin.
You don't read the Latin.
Don't split up. And all of these things happen. And Fran Kranz's character, who is the fool, actually is the one who's like, why are we doing this? Let's not read the Latin. Let's not split up. There's a zombie girl outside.
Oh, yeah. That was fun.
The killer redneck zombie family has been unleashed because they have picked the diary of the little girl. And so they are released. And I love it because the underground society thing is
gambling.
Taking bets on the different monsters that might be summoned. And that part in the movie, I remember seeing it in theaters. I laughed so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting it. And it is one of those movies when you first see it and you've never seen it, a lot of it you're not expecting, which I love.
Oh, yeah. Let's open the gas chambers in the cabin to make them more sexualized people.
Yes! The stupid girl is actually a valedictorian, smart college girl, but they used hair dye to make her dumb. Just weird things like that, and all the acting is amazing.
It's good.
I love it. I love the two main guys at the organization.
I always want to say Phil and Bob.
Kind
because
of.
they're like a Phil and Bob.
They are like a Phil and Bob. 1 second. I know their names. Luckily.
It's hilarious.
Yes, Richard Jenkins and Bradley Whitford. have the best on-screen chemistry in this movie.
Especially when they're like, the Japanese! How did the Japanese win this year?
Yeah, and just like...
They use children. That's hilarious.
It's wonderful. Seriously, if you haven't seen this movie, where have you been? It's been out for 10 years, guys. And if you have any inkling of horror movies, you're gonna go watch it. No, this movie is amazing.
Yeah, especially during the first half, it actually shows you a couple of the things that are gonna happen when they get to the cabin. Like, if you, spoiler alert, when they're actually going through the canyon, actually a bird hits into the supposed electrocution barrier and falls to its death. Like, you really don't notice it because it's kind of off to the side. Well, but you're definitely like, oh, that might be used later. And then later you're like, oh.
You know, I kind of wish they hadn't have shown the bird.
Yeah.
Because...
I think it's hilarious.
It is hilarious, but I feel like with Chris Hemsworth, when he uses his motorbike to jump the canyon... If we didn't know there was a shield there, how much of a shock that would be.
That would.
Just all of a sudden, there he goes, he'll make it!
No.
And it's terrible. But I feel like if we hadn't been told there was a shield there, that death would have been much more shocking, as opposed to, well, he's going to run right into the shield.
Yeah, it's going to be there. But still, like...
Oh, still, it's a great movie.
It's a great movie, especially since it turns around a lot. Like, you were really, like, hoping that the people don't die some of it, and then you're like, you learn how when they go underneath and see the rest of the monsters, you're kind of like, dude, I kind of think the monsters deserve to get out.
And then they do.
And then they do.
And it's awesome.
It's amazing.
Oh, that, when the elevators open and the monsters come out, that is another one of my favorite scenes from that, and just all the different weird monsters they like God. The impaling unicorn.
That is just horrible. Horrible.
This movie is wonderful.
Like a pterodactyl. We had like a pterodactyl coming in and like
the weird like bat thing. Yeah, just all the different. Hilarious. And they have callbacks to all the other movies. Like they have something that looks like Pinhead from Hellraiser. Yep. They even had Deadites on the board, from Evil Dead and. Yeah, this whole movie, you could just go through it and look through everything to get all of the different references, which I love. That, they're...
It's like a collab of all horror and a parody. Yeah. It's a parody of all horror.
Yeah, it really is.
Great. And the very ending is just like... It's just a piece of the sauce. Like, it's one of those that you want to watch.
They literally... get attacked and they release the old gods and they smoke a joint while the old gods take over the world.
Yep.
It's hilarious because they're just like, well, let's see what happens. And it's like,
and done.
And and then it's they were talking for a little bit of trying to make a second one, and I was like, don't do that, because this is a good standalone movie. There's too many horror films right now where they're good standalone movies, and then they make a sequel, and you're like, what was the point of this?
Yeah. It's down. It went downhill.
Yeah, they always do. Very rarely do sequels live up to the original.
Yeah.
I'm sure Evil Dead 2 was better than the original.
Yeah.
But it's not the same. Because they were technically just redoing it. But anywho.
Yeah. Now, Alien Predator, that did turn out to be pretty good of a sequel.
Well, Aliens, the second Alien movie was actually really good. But we could talk about, what?
Random chatters.
Yeah, random chatters. We're easily distracted.
Sorry.
As you can see.
Happens with a late night.
Yeah, we also didn't sleep a lot. But anywho, this movie, amazing.
It is.
I love this movie. I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. Like, it has flaws, obviously. All movies do in some form. I can't think of, a perfectly made 10 out of 10 movie. Except, I don't know. Maybe Pan's Labyrinth.
That one was good. The gore factor was good.
Yeah.
Like, the first scene. Totally one of those. Anyways.
Getting into other movies.
Yeah, anyways. But Cabin in the Woods, I would say, would be a good one that you could both be kind of scared and kind of laugh with, because it's a happy medium.
I also feel like teenagers can get behind this.
Yes, definitely.
Easily. It's not so scary. Like, if I saw this when I was like 11 or 12, it wouldn't scare me because I would get the jokes.
Yeah. Plus, the blood doesn't look really real at all. It kind of gives you a Kill Bill type of feel.
Then again,
But it's
I
not
wouldn't
squirty.
have had an 11-year-old watch Kill Bill.
No.
No.
Well, you
Just in general.
It's just depending on the parent.
It's depending on the kid, too. But, yeah, if you want to show your kids horror movies, Cabin in the Woods is one of them. You know, there's... Oh, wait, there is sex. There's boobs. God forbid there's boobs.
There's boobs in museums, so come on.
I know, but I always like to give warnings in case someone hasn't seen it and they want to show their kid and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, boobs. But that's all really you see. You just see boobs.
Yeah.
Well,
usually it's mostly covered, though, because it's just when the tearing of the shirt.
No, they flat out show her boobs. Yeah.
I totally forgot about that part.
Mm-hmm.
But I got them, so I don't need to watch them.
Yeah, so we don't care. It's hard for me to remember when there are boobs, because I'm like, okay. But, anywho, a solid 8 out of 10 for a movie.
It's good.
Rewatchable. It has a lot of rewatchability.
True.
Which I love. Any parting comments or thoughts?
In the same parody/horror, there's also The Knights of Badassdom.
Badassdom. Yes.
That's another one. If you want to have some type of parody with the horror, definitely watch that one.
That's a great one. Might have to give that one a review sometime. I don't know. There's 10 million horror movies. Like I always say, if you have a horror suggestion, please drop them in the comments or message me. I don't care. Wednesday I will be doing a review of The Thing, the 1982 version, because that is the far superior version, and also Kurt Russell. So
Kurt Russell.
Exactly. And it's just an amazing movie. So, and I don't have anything else planned after that, so if you do want me to do a certain movie, message me today or tomorrow before I release what other movies I'm gonna do, and I might stick in your movie if it tickles my fancy.
Yep.
Okay.
Don't forget to subscribe, because Miss Bonnie is awesome.
Oh, I thank you.
And thumbs ups are amazing.
Yes, this will be as it is on Facebook. I will upload it to my YouTube channel, which you can find at Bonnie Loves Horror.
Yes.
Because I do. Okay, I think that's everything. So yeah, go watch Cabin in the Woods today.
Yeah, get it done.
It's a great fall movie.
Yes, it is. Curl up on that bed, eat some good popcorn, and watch you some parody horror.
Yeah, and Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many hot stuff.
On that parting note, have a wonderful day and enjoy it almost being October.
Yeah, buddy.
And this is the wonderful Beth.
Bye,
You'll probably see her in the future. Have a good day.